Yes.
24 hours eviction notice has been given, my lordship. Anytime eviction may be conducted. Only 24 hours has been given. So, my lord, very urgent, my lordship.
You see, if you can bring it before I rise, otherwise difficult, because today I have a shorter list for some other reason.
Monday, maybe.
Monday, yes.
May it please, my lord. The WBC number 2739.
Admission, for admission,
Yes, my lord.
listing for admission,
Yes.
go to the register, yes.
We have your lordship.
Yes.
And I've actually mentioned lordship. We have filed yesterday, we have filed additional affidavit, my lord.
Hmm.
Which is not take, my lord. Lordship can take item number,
Which item?
item number 6, my lord.
Yes.
Problem.
May I please, I beg to mention for listing a matter by Monday lordship, eviction matter.
Yes.
My please, your lordship. Lordship, I beg for mention of an IA lordship.
Hmm.
Lordship, for Monday lordship, it
Oh,
is
what is the IFO?
lordship. It is matter relates to eviction lordship,
What
and
is the IA?
without informing the responding authority, without informing us, they started the demolishing process, your honor.
Hmm.
And
But in the writ petition, you have not got the relief.
that is pending, your lordship.
Ah,
Lordship.
that is already, court has passed an order.
No, it is pending, your
All right.
obliged.
May it please your lordship, in item number 13, the petitioners are to file an affidavit in reply to the affidavit filed by the respondent authority.
Hmm.
Lordship may kindly grant some time for filing the affidavit.
You have informed the other side?
Yes, lordship.
You are for whom?
I am for the petitioners.
The learned counsel for the petitioner, Mr.
M.R. Sharma.
M.R. Sharma, seeks adjournment of admission hearing of this matter for filing affidavit in reply. Since the prayer is not opposed, same stands allowed. List again after 4 weeks.
Much obliged, lordship.
Daily list promotion item 1.
May I please, your lordship. Lordship matter pertaining to ex gratia, your lordship. In this case, your lordship, we have filed an interlocutory application for implement of party, that is finance, your lordship. And we have filed an additional affidavit also. Additional affidavit also by annexing the police report, your lordship.
So we'll implement the finance
Yeah,
to
Lord.
file an amended cost title.
Lordship.
Yes, heard Mr. S. I. Akan, learned counsel for the applicant, also heard Ms. G. Hazarika, learned SC Revenue Department, Assam, as well as Ms. M. Burman, learned Government Advocate, Assam, appearing for the official respondents. This IA has been filed with a prayer to implement the Commissioner and Secretary to the Government of Assam Finance Department as respond number 6 in the connected.
Respondent
Number
of
5 in the connected read petition. I have perused the statements when we made in the IA. Mr. Akan submits that if an order is passed, if a favorable order is passed in the read petition, then respond number 5 will be responsible for implementing the order. Full stop. Having regard to the submission made at the bar and in view of the fact that the learned departmental council had not opposed the prayer, same stands allowed. The Commissioner and Secretary Finance Department, Government of Assam is hereby included as respond number 5 in the
Plus.
connected read petition. Petitioner to file, applicant to file amended cost title in the read petition. IA stands disposed of.
Lordship, and
And in
the
the
read-
read petition, you write, heard Mr. So-and-so for so-and-so and so-and-so, so-and-so for so-and-so. This case again for motion after the amended.
lordship,
cost
notice
title.
may be issued.
Yes, next matter, please.
Obliged.
Item 2.
May I please, your lordship. My lord, petitioner, my lord, herein, my lord, his son, my lord, was died in police custody, my lord. So, my lord, he, my lord, claiming, my lord, ex gratia, my lord, due to.
The writ petitioner has approached this court by filing the instant writ petition claiming ex gratia compensation due to the custodial death of his son, late Jahangir Alam, who was arrested by the police in connection with Barpeta PS case number. He was arrested by the police
My lord, police arrested, my lord.
in connection with Barpeta PS case number 739 of 2012, registered under section 382/302/120 bracket B bracket close /224/34 IPC. Peruse the averments made in the writ petition. NOM 6 weeks since Ms. G. Hazarika learned, since Ms. M. Burman learned, Government Advocate Assam has appeared and accepted notice for respond numbers 1 and 3 to 7, and Ms. G. Hazarika learned SC Revenue Department for respondent number 2. Service of notice is deemed to be complete in this case. Extra copies of the writ petition, requisite in numbers, be furnished to the learned government departmental council so as to enable them to obtain instruction. Facilitating disposal of the writ petition at the admission stages.
Obliged, my lord.
This case by reflecting the name of learned counsel for the respondents and the cause list.
Well obliged.
Upon the heard so and so for the petition.
Item 3.
Here petitioners, my lord, son expired in a road traffic accident. He is
The petitioner's son, namely late Rafiqul Haq, died in a road accident which took place on 10/3/2023. First up, in view of the notification dated
15/11.
15/11/2014, the petitioner had sought ex gratia compensation on account of his son's death, on account of her son's death. However, when her prayer was not acted upon, she has approached this court by filing the instant writ petition. Therefore, G. Hazarika 1, NOM 66, G. Hazarika 1, M. Borman, remaining respondents.
Oh, my lord, 2 is by final.
2 final H earlier, 14, and 3 to 6 M. Borman, service complete extra copies of the facts.
Item
I am also.
May it please, your lordship, the predecessor of the petitioners have right taken interest over the land and private respondents claiming their rights but filed their application before the circle officer for cancellation of their mutation. And on the basis of the application, the circle officer issued a notice and we have filed written statement stating that we have right title interest over that. Once the mutation was patta was issued in favor, it cannot be a civil proceedings before the circle officer. It cannot be application cannot be entertained. In spite of this, the proceeding is going on. Challenging this proceeding, I approached before this only because only the civil court has the jurisdiction to decide the title, but the circle officer is going to decide the title of the private respondent number 5 to 8.
No, he cannot decide. He doesn't have the power.
That's why I have challenged.
So we will issue notice at this stage, both on the main and the interim.
I was tape here.
We'll issue notice on both. Heard Miss Esron and counsel for the petitioner, peruse the amendments made in the writ petition. As per the allegations made by the petitioner, the circle officer of
Goripur Revenue.
Goripur Revenue Circle, that is the respondent number 3 herein, has entertained a proceeding in the form of GMC-1/Miss/2018/256, wherein there is a dispute regarding title over a plot of land is involved. According to Ms. Roy, the learned circle officer does not have any jurisdiction or authority to decide on the question of title of the contesting parties. Hence, the proceeding is illegal. Full stop. Ms. G. Hazarika and Ms. M. Borman, learned departmental counsel, have prayed for some time to obtain instruction in the matter. NOM 4 weeks since Ms. Hazarika has appeared and accepted notice on behalf of petitioners of double petition. On behalf of respondent number 1 and Ms. M. Borman for respondent numbers 2 and 3. Service of notice is deemed to be complete on the said respondents. Extra copies of the writ petition be furnished to the learned departmental counsel, requisite in numbers within 3 days from today. Petitioner to take steps for service of notice upon respondent numbers 4 to 9 by registered post with AD within 3 days from today. Heard on the prayer of interim relief, the said prayer will be considered on the return.
Till the returnable date, but if proceeding is going on, my lord.
Wait,
Item 5.
even if we decide the title, we'll set aside the order on the next day. What is the problem? It will be better for you. Yes.
Lordship, I'm appealing on behalf of respondent number 1 to 4.
Hmm.
I seek instructs to Pavastomai, so let me at 2 weeks time. CGST, Your Lordship.
Yes,
No.
your name, please.
H Jane.
Ms. H. Jane, learned counsel is present on behalf of the writ petitioner. Dr. B. N. Gogoi, learned standing counsel, GST authorities submits that instructions as called for are still awaited. And therefore, this matter be listed again after 2 weeks for motion. Since the prayer is not opposed, same stands allowed, let the matter be listed accordingly.
Lordship, there's an interim order.
There is no interim order in this case.
Oh.
Keep levels. What is the interim order? Where is the interim order? Let us see. What is the interim order?
Lordship,
What is the date
No
of the
course-
interim order?
no course of action.
2/8/2023, your lordship. No coercive
Interim order
measures.
passed earlier to continue.
Your Lordship, last occasion, I was supposed to take instruction, Lordship.
Hmm.
We received the map where the transmission line falls within the reserve forest, Your Lordship.
Your lordship, I have also made an RTA application under RTA, your lordship. That's.
Down the-
Your lordship. If your lordship.
This is the reserve forest, Your Lordship. Above that, the two transmission lines are there.
Let them file affidavit, your lordship.
Where is your affidavit?
Affidavit has been not taken. I have sought permissions in the morning, your lordship, for taking. If your lordship permit me, I mean, one thing, your lordship. That will clear whether it is a forest land or unreserved, land, unsurveyed land, your lordship.
You have obtained this instruction from where?
This is from the DFO, Your Lordship. Kachar.
This notice has been issued under which provision of law?
Lordship, this is merely a notice, but the power lies with the assistant conservator of forest to evict the person. This is just a notice, Your Lordship. The ranger has issued a notice, no eviction drive is carried out. Only assistant conservator of forest has the power to evict them, Your Lordship.
All right, then we'll have it after 2 weeks. File your
Very well,
affidavit.
Lordship.
No eviction till then.
I have received that prayer was commanded.
Actually, I heard Mr. R. Majumdar, learned counsel for the writ petitioner who submits that an additional affidavit on behalf of his client has been filed only this morning, but the same is not on record. Mr. J. Henry, learned government advocate Assam, as well as Mr. R. R. Gogoi, learned standing counsel forest department, submit that in terms of the order dated 21/8/2023, they have received necessary instructions and would place the same on record in the form of an affidavit within 3 weeks from today.
Very well, Lordship.
3 weeks from today.
Yes, 2 weeks, Your Lordship, 2 weeks.
2 weeks from today. Ms. R. Boral, understanding counsel, NHIDCL, that is the respond numbers. Respond number 8 and respond number 10. And Mr. R.K. Saludar, learned counsel for the respond number 11 are present. First up, having regard to the controversy involved in this writ petition, the matter would call for examination. As such, issue notice of motion returnable in 3 weeks. Since Mr. Handick has accepted notice for respond number 1. Acha, Ms. B. Hagarika, learned SC Revenue has accepted notice for respond number 1 and 3. Mr. R. R. Gogoi for respond numbers 2, 4,
2, 4, 6, and 9.
6 and 9.
I am for 5 and 8.
And Mr. J. Hendik, learned GR, additional senior government advocate Assam, for respond numbers 5 and 8. Service of notice upon the said respondents is deemed to be completed. Likewise, the respond numbers 10 and 11 are also deemed to be represented in this case. Anybody is left? Respond number 7?
7, it can be also by revenue official, it's a revenue official. In Kachar district, there is Hill.
Actually, then G. Hagarika also put.
Mr. Handy can accept. Hill, it was revenue official. Kachar, Hill Mujadar.
Mozadar is revenue.
They have to take a step up.
All right.
Or I will take registers.
Extra copy of the writ petition be furnished to the learned department council, requisite in numbers, so as to enable them to file affidavit. Petitioner to take steps for service of notice upon respond number 7, a registered post with AD within 3 days from today. Heard on the prayer of interim relief, having regard to the facts and circumstances of the case, it is hereby provided that the petitioner shall not be evicted from the land in question until the next date fixed. This must be done on 15th of September 2023. The respondents to file affidavit in the meantime by serving advance copy upon the petitioners. Give it back.
May I please your worship? If this matter relates to the sudden conversion of my 3 biga 7 katha land into Sarkari, then I inquired to the circle office. They said that in the 1976, it has come up from the ceiling surplus land. My father-in-law's case. But I wanted to know what is the ceiling surplus. Kindly give me the copy. They failed, said no, there is no record. So my lord, at this stage, my grievance is that let them produce the records and notice may be issued.
Which order you are challenging?
The conversion of my land to 7 biga 3 biga 3 katas. I take your lordship.
Is there an order?
They said that it cannot be considered. I prayed for conversion, but page 23, my lord.
Land has been converted or your prayer for conversion has been?
No, I wanted to know how it has been converted. They said it has been converted as ceiling surplus land.
So then
But I have no knowledge. They said it is 1975, 76. I applied for the documentary evidence.
That is not a right which can be
They said
enforced.
that there is no records, my lord.
Then you file an application under RTI.
No, there is not available. That's why my notice may be given. How I do not know how it has been.
If the records are not available, then how they will?
Yes, that is my prayer, my lord. Kindly, if your lordship kindly issue
All
notice.
right, heard Mr. S.C. Mr. Learned Counsel for the petitioner also peruse the averments made in the writ petition NOM 8 weeks since Ms. N. Bordoloi, Learned SC Revenue has appeared and accepted notice for response number 1 and Mr. H. Sharma, Learned Additional Senior Government Advocate for response numbers 2 to 4. Service of notice is deemed to be complete in this case. Extra copies of the writ petition be furnished.
This is seeking prayer for allotment and settlement of particular plot of land in favor of the petitioner before the Deputy Commissioner Dubri.
Take down the writ petitioners herein are seeking allotment of a particular plot of land. Their request has not been acted upon by the district administration. Hence, this writ petition. Heard Mr. M. Mondal, Learned Counsel for the petitioners, issue notice of motion returnable in 8 weeks since Ms. G.
N. Bordoloi.
Since N. Bordoloi, Learned. No, Mr. H. Sharma, Learned Additional Senior Government Advocate Assam, has appeared and accepted notice for response numbers 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And Ms. N. Bordoloi, Learned SC Revenue Department Assam for response number 2. Service of notice is deemed to be complete in this case. Extra copies of the writ petition be furnished to the Learned Department Council.
Then some interim protection may be given. Under the Bosundara 2, they are trying to settle the somebody else other than the petitioner.
We'll see. If you have a claim, we'll set it aside. Now, court has issued notice.
Yes. Till then, status quo as regard to the
Nothing.
publish.
Yes.
Lordship, this is actually a banking matter. What happened is actually in 2014, I have taken a housing loan from the United Bank of India. It is right now as a PNB bank actually. So what happened in 2016, the account became an NPA account. I was somehow managing the account till 2019 till my heart attack. So after my heart attack, actually this slip into totally this one and it went to the DRT court. So the DRT ordered for the recovery of such and such amount actually. And after that, my house was taken possession in the month of July.
Yes.
This year. So when I approached both the bank and the DRT, so they agreed if I paid a whole amount in a span of 3 months actually by 8 lakhs as of now, 5 lakhs as on this date. So they are ready to give me the keys actually. So somehow I manage the 8 lakh rupees and I get.
What is your?
No, this is a fraud account. I'll have to file an affidavit.
You file it. Mr. I.S. Majumdar, learned counsel for the petitioner, there is the amendments made in the writ petition. Mr. D. Ganguly,
A.
A. Ganguly, learned counsel, appearing for the Punjab National Bank. That is the respondent hearing, submits that the account involved in this proceeding is a fraud account and therefore he be granted 4 weeks time to file affidavit. In view of the above, issue notice of motion returnable within 6 weeks. Since Mr. Ganguly has appeared and accepted notice for respondent number 1, for the sole respondent, no formal notice is required to be sent in this case. Extra copy of the writ petition be furnished to the learned departmental counsel so as to enable him to obtain instruction. In any case, your petition will be dismissed. You can't file a writ petition only against the branch manager as a party. So we'll do it after 6 weeks.
Yes.
It will be dismissed after 6 weeks, not.
Okay.
These
Mila-
facts are very, very unconvincing, Mr.
My
Bose.
lord.
What is that you want?
My lord, I want that the DNA test of the fetus may be conducted, my lord,
Hmm.
with the respondent number 8 as well as along with both the petitioners, my lord. Because, my lord, I am a married woman, my lord. Series of rape incident had been committed upon me, my lord.
But the incident took place 6 months back
My lord,
and you have conceived 3 months back. So how in between the 3 months, what has
Right.
happened?
No, my lord, it is from the last.
Okay, but
6
you will have to bear the cost.
My lord, yes,
Cost
yes,
you will have to bear.
yes, my lord, yes.
What do you have to say?
Lordship,
You have nothing to say. Where is the health department council? Health department, Assam Health State Health Department.
My lord, seems to be a
Not a
part.
party.
I have not make a party, my lord.
All right, we'll post it on next Friday.
My
And
lord. They
we'll see if we can get some instruction.
My lord.
Heard Mr. A.R. Bhuyan, counsel for the writ petitioner, peruse the amendments made in the writ petition. The petitioner hearing claims to be, the petitioner number 1 hearing
Yes,
claims to
my
be a
lord.
rape victim. And she has conceived allegedly as a fallout of the incident of rape.
My-
Full stop. By filing this writ petition, a prayer has been made for directing a DNA test of the fetus
Fetus,
so as to ascertain the paternity of the
my lord,
paternity of the
fetus.
child fetus,
My-
paternity of the fetus. Full stop. Mr. Bhuya submits that his clients are ready and willing to bear the cost of
My-
such DNA test
My-
if permitted by this court. Full stop. Mr. H. Sharma, learned additional senior government advocate Assam, as well as Ms. R. Devi, learned CGC, appearing for the official respondents, are prayed for a week's time to seek preliminary response from the departmental authorities. In view of the above, this matter is directed to be listed after 1 week, means next Friday.
Next Friday, my
What is the date?
lord, next Friday is my lord.
Let this matter be listed for motion again on
20
1/9/2020.
My lord,
23 as a fixed item for motion by showing the name of Learned Standing Council Health Department Assam in the cause list. Mr.
I'll-
Bhuya to furnish a copy of the writ petition to the Learned Standing Council Health Department Assam during the course of the day. A copy each of the writ petition be furnished to Mr. H. Sharma and Ms. R. Devi also for so as to enable them to obtain instruction.
oblige.
Order impeachment of party, item 10.
May I pledge your lordship? This application has been filed for implement of party Kirti Jalin in place of Kamal Kumar Basha.
You want implement of which person?
My lord Kirti Jalil in place of Kamal Kumar Basha. He has been transferred now.
Acha, your name, please?
D Das.
Ms. D. Das, Learned Counsel, is present on behalf of the applicant. The instant application has been filed with a prayer to implement Srimati Kriti Jali, IAS, Deputy Commissioner Kamrup, bracket R, bracket close, Assam, on the ground that she is the incumbent in the office of the Deputy Commissioner Kamrup, who would be responsible for implementation of the court's order. I have perused the statements made in the IA. The prayer made by the applicant stands allowed. Srimati Kriti Jali, IAS be included as respondent number 4 in the connected contempt case. IAS, then you write the petitioner's counsel to file an amended cost title in the contempt case. IAS stands disposed of. You have to file an amended cost title.
Complex.
Item 11.
Wait, please, your lordships. This is an implement application for implement of the newly appointed Secretary to the Government of India Ministry of Defence, Sri Giridhar Aramane, my lords, and one Mr. Dr. Rohit Singh Malan, who is the Defence Estate Officer of Guwahati Circle. They have been.
My lord, actually the matter is about to be settled down only. Now there is an instruction, my lord, not to implement this as a senior officers, because they come only for
File your
retirement.
objection. Heard
They
Mr.
have
S.
filed an
Vishwakumar.
objection, my lords, in fact, and there was a specific direction to the secretary. If my lord prejudices the order of this honorable court, there was a specific direction.
No, senior officer, junior
No,
officer.
no, my
does
lord,
not.
actually what happened, now the issue is in between the deputy commissioner and the defense state officer, respondent 6. That I agree. That has already been settled means. Money has been already sanctioned. It's a question of disbursements only. So there is an instruction not to say implement senior officer. That is the reason. my lord.
That instruction, that is for the court to decide.
That is absolutely right, my
Yeah.
lord. No, these actually what happened, my lord, practically these people are senior officer only for 6 months or 1 year.
Hmm.
Then after if this is not disposed of, this is a great tension for them after the retirement. That is the only reason, my lord.
Then comply with the court order.
It is on the
Have it
process.
after 3 weeks. Heard Mr. S. Vishwakumar, learned counsel for the applicant, also heard Mr. Y. Dalai, learned counsel appearing for the respondent numbers
Number 2 and 3, my lord.
2 and 3, who submits that the court order is in the process of being implemented. And at this stage, the prayer for implement made by the applicant may not be considered by the court. And
Yes.
therefore, at this stage, so Mr. Doloi further submits that an objection opposing the prayer for implement has already been filed.
Yes.
However, the said objection is not on record.
No, the objection with regard to, in the main case, the objection has been, in the contempt petition, an objection has been filed. In the implement, objection has not been filed.
That will file it, my lord.
Mr.
For
Doloi
respondent number 1 and 2.
Further submits that an objection to the prayer for implement made in this IA shall be filed within 3 weeks from today.
Yes.
In view of the above, let this matter be listed again after 3 weeks. On the next date fixed, the learned counsel for the respondents to also appraise this court as to the steps taken for compliance with the court's order. You see, these arguments are posing difficulties. for us.
That is
You
true.
can't say that.
That understands.
We
my
are
lord.
big shots.
Because actually the matter is about to settle it down, my lord.
Settle it.
Yes. That's on the process, my lord.
This is not a ground. A secretary is secretary. So
Yes, my lord.
that's not a
No,
ground.
that
We
is
will not
true.
accept this.
Yes.
On the next day, please don't make this request. We'll decline it. And we'll decline it with a reasoned order.
Yes, my-
So kindly, we understand there could be some technical reason,
yes, yes.
but then the best way out is for him, the person in that high office, to ensure early compliance with the court.
Yes, that is on the process, my
You
lord.
have to either comply or file an appeal.
Yes.
There is no third.
No,
option.
we are going to comply it, my
All
lord.
right.
That is on the process. Obliged, my lord.
Obliged, my lord.
Yes. Who's for the petitioner?
Absent, my lord.
Huh?
Is not there.
Absent. None appears for the writ petitioner when the matter is called up. Mr. S. Datta, learned SCPNRD Department, Assam, Mr. J.K. Goswami, learned Additional Senior Government Advocate, Assam, and Miss Revenue is also there? You don't know.
Not there, my lord.
And so and so, J.K.
No,
Goswami are present. Oh, Acha, then right, Mr. H. Sharma, learned additional senior government advocate Assam, as well as Mr. J.K. Goswami representing the private respondent numbers 8 to
14.
8 to 14 are present. Be that as it may, since the petitioner's counsel is absent today, this matter cannot be taken up for admission hearing. Let this case be listed again after 4 weeks.
Highly obliged.
In this case, Malad, I am led by the council, Mr. Ken Chaudhary, Malad, he's on next, Malad, he's coming, Malad.
But before the list is over, otherwise it will get rolled over.
My lord.
Yes.
16 question. Fourteen, 15 time.
Yes.
16.
What is 16?
Your lordship, in this case, your lordship, P Nayak is appearing, your lordship. He is on legs, your lordship.
What is the matter about?
Matter about the lordship, construction of model residential school, lordship. It was initially sanctioned at Kasaripara, Boingao, but without any government order, that was shifted to the Koregaon Part 1. That is. What happened?
Yes, Mr. Nayak, what is this matter?
Agricultural revenue is. তিনটা ফাইল একেলগে
Second copy to.
So what is it? They're saying they're going to be evicted from.
This is government past land. And my lord, the lordship may kindly take up page 35. It's the counter affidavit filed by respondent number 4, my lord. They have not even paid the fine, the Bedakhali Zorimona. My lord. They are illegal encroachers of the land.
But
and this-
that's right. But what he's saying is that
They
private respondents are behind this.
beg your lordship's pardon.
His allegation is that the private respondents are responsible for this. Who is trying to evict you?
Well, the PWD has taken the land for possession, for construction of a model residential school. Model residential school was sanctioned in Kasari Baralachi.
No, but what is your right over the land?
Exactly. I'm settler in the government guideline, I admit that lordship. But without any government order, they have shifted the school from Kasari Party.
None of your business. You can't question that.
And my lord, if that was needed, they have not even give us notice to evict. Without giving notice, they come and start.
How many days notice you want? How many days notice?
Now, my lord, they have constructed
Huh?
they have already started construction of the, I think already completed the work, lordship.
Then what remains in this?
Nothing much.
All right. But Mr. Your name, please?
My only grievance is that they did not give any notice.
Huh?
Did not give any.
All right, but then you have been disposed, they have raised construction, it is almost complete. You are saying what to do now? There is no, what will you do with notice now? Heard Mr. M. Rana, learned counsel appearing for the writ petitioner. Writ petitioners also heard Ms. S. Sharma, learned.
4 and 5, my lord.
Then first you write Mr. P. Nayak, learned SCPWD. Appearing for respond numbers 1, 2, and 3. Ms. S. Sharma, learned Government Advocate Assam for respond numbers 4 and 5. Mr. A. Das, learned counsel has appeared for respond number 6. and Mr.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9.
M.A. Hassan, Learned Counsel for M.A. Hussain. M.A.I. Hussain for respondent number 7, 8, and 9. Full stop. The writ petitioners herein are admittedly in occupation of Sarkari land. Full stop. Agree by their eviction from the said plot of land without issuing any prior notice. The petitioners had approached this court by filing the instant writ petition. Full stop. Ms. Sharma, learned government advocate Assam, submits that the petitioners were encroachers upon Sarkari land, which plot of land was required for construction of a model residential school. And therefore, they do not have any rights that can be enforced in this writ petition. First of, similar is the submission of learned counsel for the other respondents. First of, Mr. Nayak submits that after evicting the petitioners from the land, the construction of the model residential school has already been carried out. That's your stand? And the said construction is nearing completion. Therefore, nothing survives for adjudication in this writ petition at this point of time. Mr. Rana, learned counsel for the petitioner, has also fairly submitted that construction over the land is already complete. Almost complete. Or is almost complete, but his grievance is pertaining to the manner in which his clients were evicted from the land without issuing any prior notice. Whether prior notice was called for on encroachers of Sarkari land, in the face of the admission made by the petitioner's counsel is a matter which is highly debatable. Be that as it may, since the petitioners have already been evicted and the construction has been raised over the Sarkari land, this court is of the opinion that there is no issue, no real issue that calls for adjudication by this court in this proceeding at this point of time. This writ petition is closed accordingly.
Item 17.
In the first priority list, my lord, for BPL house, my lord, my name was there in the list, my lord.
Lordship may grant 7 days time, my lord. We are going to file affidavit, my lord. Affidavit is ready, my lord.
Mr. H. Das, learned counsel is present on behalf of the H.K. Das, no?
H. Das.
H. Das, learned counsel for the petitioner is present. Mr. S. Dutta, learned standing counsel, PNRD Department, Assam, submits that he has received instructions and will file affidavit within 7 days.
7 days.
In view of the above, this matter stands adjourned for 2 weeks, so as to enable the department to file affidavit. List according.
Date, my lord.
List
Obliged.
May I please, Lord? The matter relates to freezing of account, my lord, under the provisions of NDPS Act, my lord. The NDPS Act says, my lord, during the course of investigations, if the inquiry officer or investigator found that some accounts are liable to be forfeited, they may be freezed, but there is a bar. There's a
But why this repetition? These are matters which should be in the criminal court.
no, already I am acquitted in the case, my lord. But in the criminal case, I was already acquitted, but now they are not releasing it, my lord. Now defreezing the account, because the competent authority is the income tax authority. They have also not initiated any proceeding for confiscation proceeding. The IO of this case has illegally withholding the account.
Who is for the IO? Yes.
Lordship, we have not got any instruction yet. So we
You are
have
appearing for whom?
NCB. On behalf of
No, if he
SCB.
has been acquitted, why are you keeping his account in frozen state? Who is the officer? Tell him to come. Call him. Who's the regional director of NCB? We'll call him then. You are
Well-
appearing for whom?
I'm for respondent 1, Bank of Baroda.
Why his account has not been?
Lordship, upon instruction of the NCB officers, they have freezed their account. Now they are further, they have not instructed. So we go.
All right. The writ petitioner who was an accused in connection with Upper Diwahad, Mr. P. Kotak, counsel for the petitioner. Then you write the petitioner herein who was an accused in, what is the case number?
Case number, my lord, I'm giving my NCB case number
That is,
accused in NCB case number
just
Number.
NCB case number, my lord, NDBS 92 of 2018, my.
92 of 2018 has approached this court by filing the instant writ petition, inter alia contending that although he has been acquitted by the learned special judge,
Session judge, my lord, additional
Right.
session judge,
learned additional session judge,
FTC, my lord, Kamrup Metro, my.
Kamrup Metro, in connection with the aforesaid case, yet the bank account of the petitioner, which was earlier frozen, has not been released till today for no valid reason. First up, Miss, your name please?
Meenakshi Deka.
Is Meenakshi Dekar, learned counsel appearing for the respondent numbers?
That's one of 2 and 3, man.
Respondent numbers 2 and 3 submit that instructions as called for are still awaited. Miss
As they,
S. Dev, learned counsel appearing for the respondent bank, submits that the bank is not in a position to defreeze the account since the instructions from the NCB authorities to continue with the freezing of the account. First up, be that as it may, if the petitioner has already been acquitted, it is not known why, as to why his bank account has still been kept in frozen state. Since the learned counsel for the respondent numbers 2 and 3 is unable to respond to the queries of the court due to want of instruction. On her request, this matter is directed to be listed again after 2 weeks, so as to give one last opportunity to the learned counsel to obtain instruction. It is made clear that if no instruction is made available on or before the next date fixed, this court may consider directing personal appearance of the concerned officials. Please take accordingly. Yes.
May it please your lordship. On last occasion, there is a direction given to file affidavit by 21/8.
No, lordship, lordship, we have already received, my lord. So within 7 days, we are filing. 3 days, you can file, my lord.
Heard Ms. R. Chaudhary, learned counsel for the writ petitioner, Mr. S. Dutta, learned standing counsel, PNRD Department, Assam, submits that he has received instructions and shall file affidavit within 7 days
Fine.
from today. In view of the above, this matter is directed to be posted again after 2 weeks.
Highly obliged.
item 20.
Lordship, 20 is a contempt petition for the first time.
First one. How many contemners? One.
Only one. lordship.
So R. Chaudhary issued notice 8 weeks, huh? Rest still right, alleging willful violation.
Deeply obliged.
Mr. I.H. Sekar, and how many contemners?
My lord.
Only one, 8 weeks. Yes,
Item 20.
Yeah, my lord, 7, my lord.
Huh?
7, my lord.
you have called item 7.
No, 7 containers, my lord.
8 weeks. Yes,
Item 22.
My lord,
8 weeks.
22 and
W. Rahman, 8 weeks.
23 also, my lord.
23 also.
W. Rahman, 8 weeks.
24.
See how many petitioners are there accordingly.
Can it be password for timing?
Yes, yes.
Lordship, but we have not received any instruction also, so Lordship kindly 2 weeks time may be given, Lordship.
Take down. Heard Mr. You
I'm appearing for Ken Media.
heard learned counsel for the petitioner, Miss
J Bora, Lordship,
J.
on
Bora.
behalf of S Doctor.
Ms. J. Bora, learned counsel appearing for the respondent number.
Press release number, Lordship. Lordship,
Before coming to court, you must see, open the
Lordship.
file sometimes and
Lordship,
see.
Lordship, Lordship.
Huh? You cannot start all this.
134. Lordship, 1, 3, 4, and 6,
1,
Lordship.
3, 4, and 6 submit that instructions are still awaited and therefore 2 weeks further time be granted for obtaining instruction in the matter. Since the prayer is not opposed, same stands allowed. List this case again after 3 weeks.
Deeply obliged,
Item
Lordship.
25.
I'm for a petitioner, my lord.
May I please, your Lordship, my senior, Mr. Mukesh Sharma's legs.
What is this matter about?
Mehta, my lord, I stood as a guarantor, my lord. I'm a grade 4 employee at a Madrasa school, my lord.
Hmm.
I stood as a guarantor for one of my teacher, my lord.
Hmm.
Then, my lord, subsequently, it has come to the knowledge of the authority that he has taken appointment by furnishing 4 documents. So FIR was lodged against that teacher, my lord. I stood as a guarantor, my lord. Now my salary account has been frozen, my lord.
What
My
will
lord, it is not frozen, it is kept in lien,
Yep.
the account.
Entire salary, my lord. Now my right to survival is a question.
Who is the senior?
Mukesh Sharma.
So we'll have it after 2 weeks. Then
Obliged, my lord.
Mr. UK Burman Learned Council is present on behalf of the writ petitioner. However, on the request of the Learned Council for respond numbers
2 and 3.
2 and 3. This matter stands passed over for the day, list again after 2 weeks.
Much obliged.
I'll see what is 14 and 15.
Fix a date in next week, my lord.
On the request of Mr. Ayat Sekia, Learned Council for the petitioner, made with the consent of the opposite parties,
That's all
these
noted.
matters are directed to be listed again next week,
Well-
1st September 2023 as
31st.
fixed item.
31st August, my lord.
1st September.
For respondent to.
Mr.
Deborah.
Deborah, Learned Council, can you give it in writing?
Is definitely.